So, what is the name of the movie we're going to be making tonight?
Everything is scary?
Oh, okay. So what's that about?
I don't know. I thought you were going to lead.
Okay, well... Okay, I'm just going to say a bunch of titles. Why do you roll your eyes? The rolling eyes. The closet with no back. The pit and the boy.
How about no the?
No the. Handless man. Manless hand. Manless hands.
Manless Hands.
Okay, so we open up on a New York City street. It's raining. People are walking in a hurry. All of a sudden...
Oh, no.
Go on.
No. Honey, let me take it from here. I see... it's Brooklyn. It's raining, just like you said, but it's Brooklyn. And it's like...
That's a part of New York City.
Well, I was seeing Manhattan.
Okay.
This is because it's specific because here comes a black Lincoln Cadillac.
Okay.
And tinted windows.
Mm-hmm.
And we see a little old lady. Well, we should get a shot of the Cadillac coming, and then we zoom in, or the camera's turning towards the sidewalk, and we see a lady pushing her cart, holding an umbrella. She's a very hunchback old lady. And as she's walking by, we see the Cadillac pull up next to her, and then the window just goes down. We can't see anything because it's black, and it's raining. And she stops and looks, and then all of a sudden we see these things fly out, and there's two hands fall on the ground right next to her.
Okay.
And then the car pulls away, drives off.
Does she scream?
No, she just keeps walking.
Okay.
And that's the opening credits. And then, as she walks off screen, because we got a center shot of the hands laying on the pavement, she walks off screen to the left, and then it says the Manless Hands.
So then the hands, they're on
and, But as we get, the hands are on the bottom, so a very symmetrical shot with the hands on the bottom, and then the titles on the top. And then the titles disappear, and the camera zooms down to the hands. Okay, I got it.
Okay, so the hands they're disembodied hands. I feel...
I got it.
Go on.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm really seeing this.
Yeah, go on.
So the camera after the credits, the camera zooms down to the hands, and we see the hands laying there in the rain on the sidewalk. Yeah. And they're bleeding, and the rain is pouring on them.
Yeah.
And then it slowly fades into a scene where the hands are now connected to the arm. You'll see the arms start, and then it fades into the scene where the guy's hands are on the table. Mm-hmm. A few hours before. Yeah. And they're connected to him. And now we're in the scene where we're in the room where the guy's hands are on a table and something's happening. Yeah.
Okay. So I think we hear a foreign language, and then in the subtitles
says I love subtitles. I feel like if we ever make a movie that has subtitles, we're so successful.
It says though your words are sweet, your actions have hurt us for the last time. And he goes, and he looks up at the man with an understanding and goes, I understand. And he puts his hands down, and a blade comes down and cuts both of his hands off. Then there's just blood shooting out of his wrists, and it's raining down on the hands. Then we cut back to the now disembodied hands in the present, where rain is actually falling on them in lieu of the blood.
Hold on a second. My cousin Bailey's texting me.
What does Bailey want?
I'm so sorry.
Everything okay?
Yes.
Okay, so the hand...
I'm sorry. So the hand... I'm sorry. The foreign language...
The foreign language...
He's got his hands and he's begging.
No, he understands. He's resigned himself to this fate. He knows he did wrong, and this is the only way to make it right. His hands get sliced off. Then he starts screaming, and from his wrist, blood starts pouring, and then blood starts pouring.
So the guy says, he says to him, your words are beautiful.
But your hands
Have got to go.
Yes, that's exactly.
And then he goes like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he pulls his wrist up. The blood is spurting out, and then the blood is raining down on the hands. Now we fade back to the present, where the hands are on the street and they're being rained upon. Mm-hmm. And then the hands, they're both on their backs, the back of the hands. We see some twitching in the fingers. They flip over, and now
Who is this guy?
these hands are alive.
And the guy knows foreign language?
We don't know.
Wait a minute.
This is taking place in 2 different times.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was going to pick up now, but you're saying they already came to life then.
No. Now they've just come to life. Because we dissolved. Remember, it was the blood from his wrist.
It's a flashback.
And then it dissolved back to the future, back to the present.
To the past.
No, it dissolved back to the present from the past.
The old lady beginning scene.
That's the present.
Yes.
Then we went back to him getting his hands cut off.
That's the past.
Now we're back in the present where the hands come alive.
Oh, so when the hand gets cut off, we have a time warp.
We just step back in past for 1 moment. We're going to keep doing that to reveal.
So I'm constantly going to be confused this whole episode.
It's a fucking mystery. And so now these hands, they're alive in New York City, Brooklyn, New York City, to be exact. And they get up and they start following that old lady. They jump into her little fold-up grocery thing, and she doesn't notice. But then we have a camera in the grocery, in like her take-home grocery cart, and. So then we see, okay, so now he's going through all the groceries.
Oh, well, look at it. The Marissa Tomei angle.
That's not Marissa Tomei.
Angle. Everyone's got it. There it is. Oof. Okay. Oh.
I gotta cut this all out.
Okay. What? Whoa. That's awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this all in.
Two of my favorite things in monsters.
So now the hands are in the shopping cart, and it starts ripping things.
Shopping cart? We're in a shopping center?
No, it's one of those fold-up take-home ones. She's walking back home with her groceries.
Oh yeah. The city shopping, old lady shopping.
Yeah, and it's opening up like Snickers, and one hand is trying to feed it to the other.
So, we're back in present time.
Yeah.
So we went present, past, this is in the past, that was it.
We're going to step back there. We're going to keep going back there. And the past and the present are going to inform one another.
Okay, just to clarify. So we went back, we saw the hands get chopped off.
Yeah.
The hands gotta go. They fell off. and then,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's just genius.
Thank you.
There's a dramatic scene. It's at least like 3
There's a
minutes.
dramatic scene. It's all in German.
Yeah, it's a dramatic scene.
Offen, boffen, dotten,
It
Hans.
could be.
Yeah.
It could be. And so the hands get cut off, and as the hands get cut off, it's kind of like slow motion. It's like, and we see the hands like fly up, and then the hands in real time motion, we see them fall into on like a table. And then we zoom out, and we're in the apartment with the old lady.
Okay.
Because, the transfer happened in the air, just like in the last scene.
Okay, sure. Those are just 2 different dissolves. We can choose either one when we're actually writing the script.
All right. I really like that.
Well, it's on record. So now the hands are hungry because they couldn't eat the Snickers.
We show little stomachs.
It's got chocolate all over it, and now
It's developing organs.
oh my God!
We show it like
Yes.
laying there, and it's developing
Wait, no,
organs.
no! As it's trying to feed itself the Snicker, a mouth opens up on it,
and we see lungs.
and yeah, we see
Because you know in the back where they get cut off, you can see into it.
yeah, we see hanging out. We see that there's like viscera that's starting to form.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
late, and like maybe in a few scenes, like there's like a really graphic scene where he's developing more like genitalia,
Sure. And so now the late
and it's
it's substantial.
substantial. What do they call it? Well endowed.
Yes, these are some well endowed hands. So now this lady.
That hand's got a cock.
So now this lady, what's she doing? She's getting ready for bed.
Oh, the old lady. She doesn't even notice. She thinks that they're fish.
Yeah.
She thinks that they're fish because she went to the fish market. And she goes, "Oh, I dropped the fish." Well, you know, she thought she dropped the fish. And she threw them on the counter with the other fish in the paper, in the newspaper.
In the fish paper. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what happens now?
Obviously, she's preparing dinner.
Okay, yeah.
For her
so
husband.
we hear some sizzling.
Saul.
Yeah. And he's like, "Did you get my fish?"
She's like, "Yes, Saul."
He's like, "It's not Saul."
No, Saul's not mean.
Did you get my fish?
Honey,
Honey,
are we
you-
having fish? She goes, "Honey, you know we're having fish." He goes, "Honey, I know we're having fish."
And then we hear a laugh track.
Yes.
Okay, so what happens next, Jerry? You said
Well, she puts.
Yeah.
It just like
yeah,
hits you.
It's hitting you.
Told you to call. Told you to call me. It was gonna be good. So she's got all her prep stuff on the counter.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's no lady. She's moving slow and like when she turns, like her whole body turns.
Like, yeah, sure,
Makes sense.
yeah.
So she's got the bread. I mean, the flour, the eggs,
Yeah.
and then the frying pan.
Oh my God.
And so we see the camera pans past the pan really hot, sizzling, like
Yeah.
almost burning the butter and oil. Mm-hmm. And then it pans over to the eggs in the dish, whipped.
Yeah.
And it pans over to the flour in the dish, sitting there. Mm-hmm. And it pans over to a big dish of the fish and the hands laid out.
Oh, but the hands are eating some of the fish.
Oh, but yeah, exactly. And she doesn't really notice any of this because she's
Yeah.
kind of like blind or something, I guess. Like, not blind, but like, she's senile.
She's
She's
an older woman.
she can't really see well.
Yeah.
She has glasses and they're always hanging around her thing.
Yeah, and she can't find them.
Yeah. And she said, "Saul, did you see my
They're probably hanging on your titties, honey.
under your titties?"
Just like me when we were in college. Huh?
Saul, you didn't go to college. Okay.
Is this Goshen?
I was gonna say it looks like upstate New York. Come on. Oh, so she's, and we see that then there's a tray of fish. The camera pan reveals a tray of fish and the hands. And then we zoom in, or we get a close-up of the hands eating the fish.
Yeah.
Like it's sticking its tongue now, and you see it going into the gill of the fish and coming out the mouth.
Yeah.
And it looks like the fish has a tongue.
Okay. So
Right?
these hands have tongues now.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
growing full-on genitals and tongues and lungs.
Just like a real boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
So she takes the first fish and she puts it in the thing. And it sizzles. Mm-hmm. And then she takes the other fish and she lays it down, sizzles, and then she picks up the hand by the penis.
Not by the penis. By the
what?
penis.
No, by the thumb.
No, by the penis, and it goes, ah! out of its mouth, and it bites her thumb.
Yes.
And then she goes, ah!
Ah!
Yeah, she's screaming. She's got this hand biting her. Then the other hand panics and bites her neck. Saul comes in, and he goes, honey! The hand goes and bites him in the head.
Yeah, he goes, ah! Now it's on his forehead.
Yeah, his eyes are crossed. And
he's shaking it, trying to shake it off.
And then the pan falls down and a fire starts.
Yes. Across the whole floor.
And so then the hands get up. One jumps on the door and pulls it open, and the hands scurry out into the apartment building.
Wait, before the one jumps up to get the door, the old lady's on the ground screaming,
Yeah.
and she's looking over and she sees the fish crawling towards her, and the fish has the tongue out, and all she can see is like the fish moving, like going like this, and his tongue is like flapping towards her.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? And then all of a sudden the hand breaks through the fish and then grabs her by the face.
Yeah.
And bites her.
So now the hands are out. They're in.
But then the
hallway.
other hand, the hands hear something.
Well, the fire alarm.
So the fire alarm goes off and it startles the hands, and they run out the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so now we have the hands, and they're running side by side, but then we cut back to the hands before they were manless, when they were attached to a man. And the man is doing something to mimic that motion. He's doing some kind of, he's playing what's that weird instrument? The
Spinning bowls.
No, the theremin. The theremin. He's playing it.
No. Do you know the Thomas Jefferson's first instrument he made? They're spinning bowls.
Yeah.
And they have to be wet.
Yeah.
He should be playing that.
Okay, so he's
because I see it. We'll get a shot of the hands running, and then as they're running, like they slow down, and the camera's zooming in as they're slowly like moving across the ground, and then that zooms in.
He's just flicking these cups.
Yeah, and then the background fades away, and it fades into that, and it's a beautiful fade.
And
these fades are what makes the movie memorable.
And now he's saying something in his language, and we zoom out. We don't see him. We see his hands.
It's old subtitles.
But then we zoom out. This part's not subtitled. It's just words.
We don't know.
We don't know. But we see a bunch of men sitting on fold-up chairs listening to him as though this is the most pleasant thing in the world. Like, what? And then we zoom in. One has a tear falling from his eye.
This music.
Another.
It's a private show.
Yeah, another.
For like really rich suits.
Another one opens up a locket and looks at a picture of his mother.
Yes. And it's like 1800s.
Yeah.
This is an old scene.
Yeah. He is moving them, and his words are like. That
sounds like German. Okay. That's good. But it needs work, but it's good.
Well, that's good. Let me try.
A little too Arabic. A little too Yiddish. I heard a bad word in there. We'll have to check back the tape. See if there needs to be an edit. Okay, all that's great. We're going to...
we'll layer them on top of each other.
Yes.
Yeah. Then he stops, and they all start clapping, and then we get a zoom in on their hands clapping, and then his hands do a little bow.
So they love his hands.
They love his hands and his words.
It's the 1800s, and he's the hand man.
Is it the 1800s, or is it 18 minutes ago?
Oh, wait, really? I was thinking, these hands, they're special.
I think they are special.
And they might go past from owner to owner.
Maybe. So maybe this is a different guy than the last guy.
Because we couldn't really see the first guy because it was almost like an interrogation scene.
And this is a totally different language than the last language.
That's what's giving the clues away.
Yeah. But you have to really know language like us.
Klingon.
This I might love this woman. I don't know.
That guy's wild looking.
So, okay. Now we're back. The hands are in the apartment building. Now the firemen are running past them. They have to be careful not to get stepped on.
And they go, "Do you see what it was?" And he goes, "Yeah, it looked like."
She's an elixir. I love.
Oh, all right, yeah. Well, some of that will be in there.
Some of that. Okay, eyes, dick, teeth, and feet. Anyway. So what do the hands do from there? Someone opens it.
So the old people, what about them?
They're dead.
No one went and saw? We don't have an investigation scene?
The firemen are there to go put out the fire.
And they saw them.
They're running there now. Where are the hands going though?
To find a new host.
Okay. So someone opens up their door to see what the commotion is, and the hands scurry inside.
And they think it's a rat.
And they go, ugh.
Fucking rats! Where's the cat?
Yeah.
Get the cat!
So then the cat is chasing the hands.
Yes.
And it chases them into
the kids' room.
Into the kids' room.
You're like, Mama saw a rat!
So the hands run into the kids' room, and they run under the covers with the kids, and they eat the kid. I don't know.
Well, now these hands are looking crazy because they've got like, it's basically like a small person with
this one.
Head of a hand.
What?
At this point, they basically look like
you're killing it. So you just keep because I'm not really. I feel like I'm not
you
really.
keep staring at this woman.
She's beautiful.
This guy almost looks like Nick Cage sometimes.
He's beautiful. All right, keep it going.
Where'd you bring us?
The cat is chasing the hands. It chases it into the kids' room. Then we hear meow, and the cat runs out, and its paws are missing. It's running out on its stubs.
Yes.
And the mother goes in and goes, Harold, the cat lost its paws again. So Harold
the cat. The rats are a cat.
Could be found on the screen.
He goes, Harold, the cat. The rats are attacking the cat again.
So then Harold walks in with a shotgun, and he's like, I'll take care of that rat.
We're in the city?
Yeah.
A city, like a Newburgh?
No, it's Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
My dad had a shotgun.
But, all right. And he's just going to shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
At the rats.
Well, he
lives in Brooklyn.
He walks into the room, he points the gun, then his 5-year-old son gets out of bed and goes, Dad, what is it? Because he's pointing the gun like right.
And he scares him?
And his son's bed. He's like, damn it, I forgot about the kid.
No, the son startled him.
Yeah.
And dad shoots the kid's head off.
No.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, so when we're not recording, you just straight up say terrible things.
Yes. That's how that works.
No, okay. I forget where we even are.
No. He's after the rats, which are actually hands. He walks into the kid's room. He's about to shoot. The kid goes, Dad, what is it? And he's like, fuck, I forgot about the kid. And, okay, I got it. He goes, Dad, I'm scared. He goes, it's okay. He's like, no, I'm really scared. He's like, it's okay. And he sits down and he puts his hand around the kid. But then we see the back of the kid's head is missing.
Oh.
And the fucking hand is puppeting it.
Oh!
And it bites the guy in the fucking chest.
Oh my God.
And it rips his fucking heart out.
Yo, that's wild.
And as he's being bit, he starts shooting off the shotgun. The wife runs in, and the other hand is holding the shotgun and blows her the fuck away.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that.
Then we, I think, cut back to the past again.
You run through too fast.
Then help
I
me.
wanted to really talk about the hand and the head.
All right, go.
Well,
Flesh
no,
it.
the moment's over. I would have just fleshed it out more.
Nah, he's like Crypt Keeper. Okay. So, now we're back in the past. The hand is holding a shotgun. We see that the hand is holding an old musket during a duel.
Because
not a musket, but like an old-fashioned.
okay,
pistol.
wait. So the mother runs in the room and she sees this scene and she goes, and right before she screams, we see the hands on the table
Yeah.
lift up the shotgun just a little bit.
Yeah.
So they're kind of pitched up to her, and we see the other one just like pull the finger trigger.
Yeah.
And then we see her face, and then from her perspective, looking down, and we see a muzzle flash, and then it just no. We have to cut from. It has to fade. The hands, right? Because we're fading the hands in.
Yeah.
All right, so right, we see her looking at the muzzle, and then we see the hands pulling the trigger, but then it doesn't click. And we see the hand pulling it again, and it doesn't click. And then just the camera zooms out, and we see that it's now, the hands are connected to, and it's in the past.
Yeah.
Cowboy times.
Cowboy times. And the man goes,
And the other one goes,
the fuck are you saying? And then boom, he blows the guy away.
no, he goes, oh, we can use my line. The other guy, he's like, he's got his hat down, and his son's kind of sitting behind him. He looks at him, the guy talking gibberish, he goes, you wild right now? And the guy goes,
That's your line.
and
You wild right now?
are you wild right now? And then the guy looks and goes, and then he goes,
Yeah.
blows his head off.
Because you know what he's fucking speaking? Hand.
Hand. Wouldn't that be sign language? Wouldn't that be ASL?
It's A as hell.
The sequel.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. So when the movie's over, the credits roll,
Yeah.
and they usually say the title, the
Yeah.
title will be wrong. Because in a lot of old bad movies, it's usually two titles.
Yeah, you love that.
I love that.
Yeah.
So the second title would be ASL.
I remember.
ASL Hell.
I remember with Trash Mom, you kept wanting to be like, but then they call her Garbage Mom, and I was like, that's stupid.
That's what I'm talking about. I knew I was smart.
Okay. So he blows the cowboy away. And then we see another hand land on his shoulder. And he goes, you speak such beautiful truths. And then we go back to the hands, and now we're back in the present, and then it clicks a few more times, and it blows the fucking lady out of the apartment. Like, it knocks, like, she gets blown back, knocks the
It's
door.
an elephant blast.
Knocks the door open. The hands come flying out into the...
From the recoil? Oh no, they go flying out
Yeah.
the door. Yeah.
Yeah. And they start...
Like she goes flying through the door in like 120 frames per second,
Yeah,
slow
yeah,
motion,
yeah.
and then we see, and then we have like a slightly zoomed in of the hole with smoke, and then we see the hands go. Whoosh.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
that's exactly how they would do it in like a Gremlins film.
Yeah.
But so that's okay. So Cowboy Times was only for a second.
Yeah, well...
We didn't learn anything in Cowboy Times. It was a
What
throwaway
we're
scene.
learning is that
These are eternal.
Time,
Yeah, that was actually the only lesson we learned.
There's a man who speaks a strange language that some patron finds beautiful. Yeah.
And the hands. Because the guy who pulled the trigger in the cowboy scene, we see that he has stitches around his hand.
Yeah.
On
They
his
all
wrist.
have stitches on their hands.
On their wrist.
Yeah.
So you can tell. And then nothing else is explained. And then we go back into the scene that we just saw.
Yeah.
And that explains to the audience that this is eternal loop of the hands.
So, what's the hand's next move now in the present?
So we're in the apartment
We're in the apartment building.
No, they just ran out.
They just ran out of the apartment. Now they're still in the building. Do they leave the building? Maybe. Yes. Yeah. I think they run out.
Wait a minute. The Hands originally had a plan. No, they didn't.
They're planless hands.
The planless Hands. They're so lazy.
No. They maybe they have a plan, but they.
Well, I was gonna say that their plan was originally with the old people, but they didn't.
I think
She
no.
picked it
As
up.
they eat more flesh, they keep developing,
Oh yeah.
and now they're developing these like spikes, like sticking out of the back of them. Like
Oh
these
my
weird,
God.
These weird spiny spikes.
That's it. No, listen. That's it. The whole time, we were led to believe that these hands were finding hosts.
But they're growing men.
They're growing men.
Yeah. So there was no
There was no
stitching.
scars. We're going.
Yeah.
Okay, erase that.
Yeah.
They're growing men.
Yeah.
And we actually, in the cowboy scene, show that there's nothing there. It's like a clean hand, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. That's awesome.
Oh. You know what that means?
What?
Somewhere there's a bunch of handless men who have been cut off from these. Yes. Oh, okay. Ow. So, in all the flashbacks with all the men like watching the performances of the men with the beautiful hands and voices, we never see their hands. We never see.
We saw that in the first one.
But we just say we didn't.
But why?
Because those are the men that the hands make.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
No, but the men who are watching them, their patrons, those are the men that all of those guys were also the hand men at one point.
There's multiple. It doesn't matter. These aren't like the same hands.
No, they are hands, but they keep making new men, and then they get cut off, and then there's a bunch of men. That's where men come from.
I thought the men. Now you're confusing me. I'm lost.
No.
I would like the simple dumbed down.
No, this is good.
Hour and 20 minute version.
This is hours and 20 minutes.
But you're adding another layer of mythology.
That's what I do, baby. I'm the lore guy.
All right, so explain it one more time then.
Okay, so remember
In the beginning.
Remember in the first scene, there was a
Yes.
guy that cut off the other guy's hands?
The thing came down, yes, but he made it happen.
In the second scene, there's a bunch of men watching the performance, right?
Yeah, the bowl spinning, yeah.
And the third scene, there's a man standing behind the cowboy. Those guys all were born from the hands. And they're like a secret society that keep making new versions of themselves that speak this secret language, and they're all born from these hands. You dig? What's wrong? It's brilliant. This guy's making a deck that's not attached to anything.
I'm going to build a house next to it.
I'm starting with the patio.
Okay. That's the angle?
I don't know.
It's a little...
Okay, I'm throwing it out there. If we can make it connect, we will. You dig?
Yeah.
That's
Listen.
my new thing. I say you dig. I think she was in the movie Pin.
Never saw that. Oh, I saw that with you.
It's a good movie.
Listen.
Yes.
These hands.
These hands
Oh,
are
small.
small.
I know.
I know.
They're not jewels.
They're up my hole.
Hands? Ugh.
Hey.
Listen. I think that the hands are growing men because they're constantly trying to be their own thing. But for some reason, like, maybe something is always after them. Some other force is taking the shape
See,
of...
this seems more convoluted than what I was even saying.
No.
So let's just keep...
Because the cowboy killed him. That was just some mysterious character. In the beginning, there was another mysterious character. And then what was the third? The men in the room. Those are mysterious characters.
Yes.
These are all people that could be following.
No, they're children of the hands. They were born of the hand.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, now they're running out of the apartment building. The firemen are leaving. They jump onto one of their their fucking
Fire escapes? Oh, ladders?
fire jackets, and they hitch a ride back to the firehouse with axes and Dalmatians.
Okay, so now
So now we go woo woo woo. They pull into the firehouse. They're all getting ready to go up into the lounge, where firemen hang out. They eat ice cream and shit.
yeah, like in Ghostbusters.
And then the hands jump off of the fire truck and they start climbing up the fire pole.
Is there a funny thing that we could do that's like the typical hot girl shower scene in like the locker room where they're all talking about something about the murder that happened, but there's like the obvious sexual.
Yeah, so we have like a bunch of naked guys.
No, but like it's different. Like they're all taking shits or something.
we just have like a bunch of naked like dads.
That's too tip. That would be too on the nose, on the dick. It'd be funny if they're all shitting.
Okay, they're all shitting.
No, that's...
So you want to have a naked scene? All these guys are taking a shower. They're all suited up.
that'd be really funny. But they're all dads.
Yeah, they're like firemen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of them goes, "Hey, who's getting playful?" Then they're like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "Someone just pinched my ass." And they're like, "Come on. You're not rookies. None of these games." I'm like, "No, for real. Someone's pinching my fucking ass."
Because they're in the shower.
And they go, "Tony, no one touched." He goes, "God, there's something on my fucking ass." And then they go, "What's going on?" And then they
and then we see there's blood coming down now.
And yeah, there's blood, and then
it's going everywhere.
This hand has crawled up his ass.
Yeah, he goes, "What is it?" And because they're in the shower, right?
And he goes, "Get it out, get it out."
And you see the hand and his little feet going like kicking because it's like crawling in.
And he goes, "Get it out," and they're like,
and it can't get in because its balls are so big.
And like one of them tries to pull it out, but then his hand gets pulled into the ass, and he pulls
go get it.
And he pulls it out, and now his hand is a fucking skeleton.
No,
hand.
there's two of them. Remember, maybe he goes to get it, but then the other one jumps up and bites his balls.
How much better is it that his hand gets pulled into the other guy's ass,
Okay, yeah.
and he pulls it out, and it's all bones.
Bows?
Bones.
Bones.
It's bones, Gerald.
Okay, I like that a lot.
And he goes, and they go,
Wait, okay, look, can I add to it?
Yeah.
He goes to grab it, shaking, and we get a close-up of his finger going, and
And
then...
another hand comes out and pulls it in. Dude, imagine that imagery. Stop thinking for a second. A man is reaching to another man's asshole. Then another hand comes out and pulls his hand in.
Wait, how does that make sense in the world, though?
What do you mean?
In the universe that we created, what is the other hand?
They both jumped in his ass.
We saw two of them?
We didn't see the first one. It was too quick. Dude, how great of a shot is that?
Well, I was thinking...
First of all, that is going to be hard to get past the MPAA because it is a straight-on shot of a man's asshole and another man's hand reaching towards it. Then another hand coming out of his asshole, grabbing his compatriot's hand, pulling it into the asshole. Then he pulls it out and it's skeletized. You gotta see you. You look like you're having a seizure. I got to.
Oh my god. Oh, that was funny.
What happened to your socks?
Oh.
Anyway.
Ooh, it's hot in here.
So, now, okay, so now Tony, the initial guy, stands up. He's possessed by the hands. They're working him like a puppet. We see that each hand crawls through his arms. We can see them under the skin of his arms.
Wait,
and they
wait.
take control of his hands. And then they make his hands grab an axe, and he starts cutting up all of his friends. And so it's a mass axe murder by a man bleeding out of his ass,
But
possessed by hands.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you can see that they're under his skin.
That's what I just said, baby.
No, but you can. It's really crazy looking. I can't express it enough.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say
What do you mean?
that he goes to do that,
Yeah,
and the other one jumps up the other guy's butt, and now there's two of them with.
this is better.
Okay. Yeah.
Mass axe murder.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's great. It's great. But what happens to the other people in the shower?
They're all axed to death.
Yeah.
They're all chopped up. Okay. So now. Oh. Okay. So now these hands have grown. Like I said, now they have these spiny protrusions. No. What's happening? They just got a bunch of flesh. They're okay. So the steam.
Well, no. He kills everyone.
Wait. So now he kills everyone. Then the whole room steams up completely. Then the steam, as time elapses, the steam evaporates and everyone is a skeleton. The hands have eaten all the flesh. Then we cut to the hands. They're now in another part of the fire department, and there's little half men on each side of them. Like, because each is only growing half a man, because they're going to meet in the middle. But they're not fully formed yet. You dig. I don't know why I'm saying you dig so much.
You say it all the time.
No, I don't. I started saying it today. Trying it out.
No. Go back in the tapes.
So now, these aren't really hands anymore. Like, they're small half man attached to oversized hands now. But they need more flesh. They need more if they're going to unite and become one full man. Where to get more flesh, you say? The preschool?
They just ate all those bodies.
It takes a lot of man to make a man. Okay, so yeah, maybe they are fully... Okay, so now there is two fully formed half men, and we see this process where the two hands crawl towards each other and the two halves...
No, okay, listen, this is what I want to say. After the axe murdering, it's just like this mass scene, and he's standing there, and he drops the axe, and the guy, he's like kind of like half alive, half dead, and he lifts his hands up, and you can see he's trying to like break free, Like
The hands are trying to break free.
No. The man, he's trying to like...
Break free from the control.
Of the control, yeah. But his hands are like lifting up and they're shaking, and he's looking at them. You can see that there's like hands under his skin,
his skin, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the hands start morphing legs out, and he starts bursting human legs out of his fingers.
Okay.
Where his fingers are,
Yeah.
And he's like, ah! And then eventually, two bodies start going. Like he's like has his arms out, and there's human bodies.
Half bodies
Being pushed out of his arms.
And then he's being compelled to bring his hands together to form them into one body.
Well, no, they get so heavy that he falls to his knees, and these two drop, and his arms are draped like this.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, screaming, looking, and these two bodies are being formed, and he's like, their heads are now coming out, and they're like standing up, and they're standing up, and he's still connected to them, and then they look at him, and then they break his arms.
And they rip themselves fully out of him, and they attach into one man. Now we have one.
Well, no, and then they fight.
No, they're both half men. They're trying to become one guy.
Yes.
And now we just have a guy, a naked man, standing among the dead, and he looks around. He goes, and then we hear. It's the sound of
Two wrists being hit together?
yeah, like...
Why would you ever make that sound like that?
It's a bunch of handless men clapping, and they walk in, and they're all wearing suits. And they say...
One's in a wheelchair.
No, they all have no hands. You can walk without hands, no problem. And they go, we've waited for you, brother. And he goes, and they go,
I hate this.
no, and they look and they go, I love the sound of a newborn.
Ew.
Why do you hate? All right, then take it in your own direction. You're the one that has cocaine psychosis. I love the sound of a newborn.
I like that.
Okay, then let's take it there.
All right.
No. You wanted to take it someplace else.
No, I mean, what else? What just happened? I can't remember.
A cabal of handless men came out clapping their wrists.
See, that's what I don't like.
Why not?
What happened right before that?
The man was born from his hands.
That's amazing.
Then where does it go from there?
He gets up and
He goes, damn, I need a job.
he what kind of building are they in?
And the firehouse.
Yes. And
And we're
then,
so
as this is happening, we hear cops and everything outside gathering. You know, all the sirens and everything. And we hear, come out with your hands up.
But the cops all have no hands.
That's funny. But come out with your hands up. That's something that's obviously great to say.
And he smirks at that.
And he turns around and he walks
And he
out.
goes, did somebody say hands?
And he goes out and he's sitting there fully naked and they light spotlights on him and everything. Like, they say drop everything. And they go, move forward, put your hands on your head. And he just steps forward and they go, stop, put your hands on your head. And then it's very dramatic, like everything gets silent. And he just goes, he starts singing that language.
Jerry, you could just do that? That was awesome. I can't do that. That was great. You're a beautiful singer.
I just made it up.
See, I can't do it.
That was terrible.
No.
Well, what did you just say? No, but I did what I did.
That was beautiful.
Exactly. That's what the sheriff says. The chief. He goes, "This goddamn beautiful," and he starts crying, and all the men start crying.
Yeah.
And everyone drops their guns, and he's
Okay.
going. In the language.
Yeah.
Dude, now I gotta steam the couch. Are you fucking kidding
It's the language. It's beautiful.
If I smell that, I'll kill you.
What? You did it.
Oh, okay, I gotta make this smell. So he makes them all fall to their knees.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Oh
That-
my god!
Yeah. Oh my God.
He's naked.
Yeah.
So then he goes, and then he bends over and he shits out hundreds and thousands of hands. Baby hands.
Hundreds of thousands is so much.
That's a lot.
Maybe dozens.
Dozens of hands. He goes on for 25 minutes just shitting out hands. And all these hands run up to the cops. And they get onto their hands. Okay, so they're smaller. Think
Yeah.
Think Swedish fish. You know, that size.
Yeah.
And they're running and they jump onto their fingers.
Yeah.
And we have a close up of their hands and they go all into their fingers. So each cop gets 10.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And these 10 baby hands
Yeah.
go into the cops and you all go, ah! And then they look up and we see.
A giant hand in the sky.
No.
Okay.
We see one of the cop's eyes screaming and the hands
The fingers are coming out from the lids. Yeah.
inside and it pulls his eyes in.
Yeah.
Has that ever been done?
No.
That's amazing.
It's nonsensical, I love it.
It was yeah. And then the cops just then fall to their knees, and all of them start vomiting more baby hands. They're like spiders, but they're hands.
And then from across
And-
the street, there's a homeless guy, and he looks and he goes, "Not again." And then credits.
No, but wait. But before that, to make it even more crazy,
Yeah.
all these hands, as they're scurrying, some of them are falling over and twitching and growing really fast limbs and
Yeah.
turning into like humans that are, and you can see in the distance, some of them are growing and standing up and turning into like people.
Yeah, yeah.
And and as the camera's zooming out on a drone shot, we see this is happening everywhere.
Everywhere.
And it just becomes like a rampant thing.
And this is just the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first act.
Act 1. That was Act 0.
Okay, no, I mean, so this is a movie.
That was great.
All right, so that is one ending. Can I do my alternate ending?
Okay.
What?
Director's cut. I didn't know you were a director over
That's
there.
kind of what we've been doing lately. And you kept shooting down my idea. And I
All
think
right,
your idea.
mine was director's cut. We'll have the producer's cut.
I think your idea might have been better, but I need to see this out.
Okay, you need to verbalize it. I understand.
So, and maybe the best idea is once we say both, we can synthesize them somehow.
I understand how this works.
What?
I understand how this works.
So, after the hand has chopped up all of the, okay, so maybe after that, after the firefighter chops up all of his fellow firefighters, exactly what happens. The hands pop out, it forms a full man, and then we get the sound of wrists clapping together. We have the cabal of handless men come out, and they go, "You're perfect." They go, "We've waited a millennium." No, not a millennium. We've waited 10 years to add another to our number.
And he goes,
And
he goes,
they go, "Oh, it's.
I love the sound of a newborn.
And they go, us old men, we can no longer speak the language.
We only can speak common.
We become accustomed to the world of men born of women, but we are not. We are men born of hands.
Man hands.
And you will remind us of what we once were with your beautiful words."
And those beautiful hands.
And he goes, and
They'll go,
and then we're looking at all of their wrists. Then they all have had their hands cut off, because you can only have the hands for a while, then they get cut off, and a new one has to grow.
you know, logic.
But where's it go from there?
You were so confident.
No, I'm not confident.
3.5 seconds ago.
Jerry, help me out. Help me. I don't know.
This is the 4th act.
Okay, my idea does not have the same juice as yours.
No, mine was great.
Okay, we'll cut it off there.
You sure? What was it again?
The Manless Hands.
Millions, trillions of hands. And we'll have a voiceover. There were millions.
100,000 hands, right?
He
There's a lot of hands, what I'm saying.
had a lot of hands.
Alright, I'm gonna shut this off. No?
No.
No?
No.
No?